Here's what happened at round 19 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. The Oriental Beauty Valley MXGP of China. MX2 race 1, Sasha Kunin with his 16th Fox hole shot. He led the way from Valerio Latu, snuck up the inside of Mattis Valan, but in the next turn, Valan and the Italian maybe came together. Valan ran out of road, he went down, he would eventually come home in 12th place. Latu was in second, Langenfelder, championship leader, was in third. De Wolfen was up to 4th place. De Wolf then got the better of Langenfelder, tried to park the German to the outside. That allowed Everts to go through as well. All of a sudden, the German down in 5th place. He managed to get back past Everts to move into 4th, down the back straight. Just lurking behind in the background was the number 80 of Andrea Adamo. This was the pass for second by De Wolf on Latta. That was on lap 3. De Wolf then went after Sasha Kunin, but Kunin was in a different planet, opening up a massive margin. Adamo got the better of Everts to move into 5th with about 6 laps to go. Everts eventually came home in 6th position. Adamo then went after Latta, and 3 laps to go. The number 80 was past the 18 for 4th, which is where he would stay. Latta would come home in 5th place. Final lap, 14-second advantage. Kunin threw it away, picked himself up though, and managed to stay on 2 wheels to register his 4th race win of the season. Kai de Wolf crossed the line in 2nd, Langenfelder was 3rd. That meant the gap came back down to 12 points in favour of Langenfelder. Of course, Langenfelder not gaining any ground so far in this weekend in the championship chase. Came here with a 12-point advantage over De Wolf, went into race 2 with a 12-point advantage, but it was Kunin who winner from race 1, De Wolf, Langenfelder, Adamo, Latta, Everts, Camden McLennan, Guillaume Ferrez, Elzinger and Racialis. MX2 race 2, this time it was Simon Langenfelder, the championship leader, who came away with the Fox hole shot, held a nice tight line. He had Latta to his outside, Sasha Kunin to his inside, but the German it was who led through that 2nd turn. Kai de Wolf not making a good start again and had work to do again, as Langenfelder, his main rival in the championship, led the way. And as long as those two were in those positions, Langenfelder was gaining major ground on his rival. Kunin got himself up to 2nd with that move on Latta very, very quickly and early on in the race. De Wolf here found his way onto the rear wheel of Latta as well. That was for 4th place. That was on lap 2 or 3. Then, as he was closing in on Kunin and he had the top 3 guys ahead of him, De Wolf fell from 4th, he picked himself up in 4th, but he lost a lot of ground, not as much as Sasha Kunin though, who tipped over whilst in a battle with Adamo. De Wolf off the side of the track as he was challenging Sasha Kunin in the latter stages of the race. Langenfelder on the final lap came under attack from Adamo. This was for the race lead and the race win. Just a handful of corners from home. It was Adamo who went on to win race 2. Langenfelder was 2nd, Sasha Kunin 3rd, De Wolf 4th. Then we had McLellan rounding out the top 5. In terms of the overall Grand Prix though, it was Sasha Kunin who took the top step, and that was because Adamo found his way into the lead on that final lap. Kunin with a 1-3, Adamo with a 4-1, Langenfelder 3-2. But top of the championship, the gap now out to 16 with a round to go. Langenfelder in control, De Wolf 2nd. Adamo now can't win the World Championship. Mathematically, it's still possible to finish 2nd. But Sasha Kunin, your overall winner here this weekend from Adamo and Langenfelder.
Yeah, really happy to have the overall. We were working really hard for this. Like Turkey was also possible, but we did a small mistake, like 2nd moto here. But yeah, really happy to manage to win.
MXGP race 1, and it was Maxime Renault, about 5 gates over, who grabbed his first Fox hole shot of the campaign on that monstrous Yamaha. Paul Jonas just behind him on the 41, Hurling's there just to the outside on the 84, and Roman Febvre, championship leader, ahead of Lucas Kunin crucially, but he was in 4th, but on the opening lap quickly got shuffled back to 7th. 1 or 2 little mistakes creeping in, one of them here coming out of this left-hander, just got bogged in this rut. Koldenhoff went through, Koldenhoff up to 6th briefly, that would only last a lap though. Febvre came back by, and so too did Kunin, who was now all over the back of the Frenchman. Those two are now up in 6th and 7th place, Koldenhoff in 8th. Febvre wasn't done yet, caught himself onto the rear wheel of Ruben Fernandez, move past the Spaniard to move into 5th, which is would stay for another 6 or 7 laps. But the heat starting to take its toll on Lucas Koenen. He started to fade. Koldenhoff found his way by. Bonacorsi moved by for 8th. Koenen now in 9th. 2 or 3 laps to go, and Jeffrey Hurling's all over the back, putting in a massive push on Maxime Renault. This was for the lead and the race win. Hurling's did go through. Maxime Renault tried to get back underneath him through turn 1, but Hurlings was having none of it, held a nice tight line. Geiser, a lap later, also found his way past the Frenchman into 2nd. So now it was Hurlings, Geiser and Renault, and that's how it would finish as well. Hurlings with his 7th race win of the season, Geiser 2nd, Renault 3rd, Febvre 4th, Ruben Fernandez 5th, Lucas Koenen crossed the line in 9th, the gap now going out from 26 points at the start of the weekend to 36. Advantage very much in Romain Febvre's favour. But that's how it finished in race 1. Hurlings, Geiser, Renault, Febvre, Fernandez, Jonas, Koldenhoff, Bonacorsi, Koenen and Verlanderen and the rest. Fantastic race though. The second race to decide the outcome of this Grand Prix in China. Lucas Koenen much more fired up, got around the outside of Tim Geiser. It was Geiser who crossed the Vauxhall shot line for the first time. Then Koenen fell, threw away that advantage. That allowed Febvre up the inside. He would have seen that firsthand. Maxime Renault, your 3rd place finisher from race 1, also got caught up in that. Renault came home in 6th in the end, just missing the podium overall. Paul Jonas made a good start until he fell going into turn 4. Koenen eventually got himself going, but he would only get back to 14th. Jonas back to 12th. This was how close it was between Febvre and Fernandez. They battled over 3rd. Both riders trying to outdo each other here. Febvre not liking what was happening behind him, but eventually Fernandez around the outside blasted his way into 3rd place on lap 4 of 17. Febvre just sat back then in the end, happy to take 4th place, but it would not get him on the podium. Bigger picture was more important. Jago Kietz was on a bit of a charge, found his way up the inside of Bonacorsi to move into 6th place. Eventually would come in 7th as Renault found his way by in the latter stages. This is how close it was on the final lap though between Hurlings and Geiser as they battled over the race win and the Grand Prix victory, but it was Hurlings with race win number 8, Grand Prix victory number 12, race 2 result mirroring the overall Grand Prix classification. Hurlings winning from Geiser, Fernandez, Febvre, Verlanderen picking up 5th ahead of Bonacorsi and Koldenhoff, with Koldenhoff 9th and Guadagnini in 10th. Febvre, Koenen now separated by 47 points. Koldenhoff guaranteed that bronze medal, 3rd in the championship. But this weekend it was Hurlings with Grand Prix victory 112, Geiser 2nd, and it was a Honda HRC podium for Geiser and Ruben Fernandez. 2nd and 3rd overall, but Hurlings your winner here this weekend.
I mean, the speed was not a problem, it was just the heat. I mean, I was struggling really much with the heat, but I only arrived on Friday, so I just 1 day to adapt. So now hopefully I got a week till Australia, so hopefully in Australia I can handle a bit better. But for the people at home, it's unreal how hot it was there. It was really, really hot.